Well, I am talking. I'm always, yes,
Yeah.
okay, pop back, yeah.
It's good to be talking.
Okay. Well, the lighting's, the lighting's not beautiful, but it's
It's
all
not
right.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
thought about having a little bit more time to
Kai's wants
deal
to
with
get
the
your
lighting.
head bigger.
Yeah, my head bigger.
yeah, let's go.
Oh, look how big
He's
your
got
head
a,
is,
he's got a
isn't
kind of a big head,
it?
I think.
do a bit. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
sometimes
to.
I look over it and I go to grab it. I'm like, God. I mean, it's not a ham. I know some people have got heads like hams.
A ham head.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want a ham
so
head, do
big.
you?
Yeah. Well, they say it's good in show business, but when you're not on,
It's good to have a big head.
yeah. But then when you're not on the, the screen and in a real life, it can look like, oh man, is that thing gonna top? Is he gonna?
Yeah.
He's top heavy. Is it gonna fall over?
Disproportionately.
Yeah.
Oh, we need an Insta ring light. That's what we need. I suppose we could order that off of the Amazon.com.
Yeah,
that we
well,
wanna
I'm
give
liking Jeff Bezos just slightly more today
Oh,
because I
really?
just read. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. I got to turn
So-
that camera thing off because it's driving me fucking bonkers.
Well,
right
luckily, I just don't even know what you're talking about.
now. Yeah. Tell me about Jeff Bezos.
Completely ignorance is bliss. So I went down one of those silly rabbit holes about celebrities who've done really dumb
Yeah.
things during the coronavirus. The ones who've done the really ridiculous Instagram. They're just sort
Who's
of
done the
so
dumbest
tone
thing?
deaf. Tone deaf. Well, of course, Gwyneth Paltrow wanting to sell you, the right vibrator to use during, and
Even
probably.
me? Does she want to sell me the right vibrator?
I don't think so. She's really concerned with people with vaginas, and you don't have a vagina, so sorry. So anyway,
Tired of it.
she went on.
Tired
Yeah.
of being discriminated against
Yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
have a vagina.
Well, why don't we get you a vagina for Christmas?
Why
Would you
don't
like
we?
that?
Why don't we?
Yeah, why don't we? Let's do it. Put it on your list. I don't know
right.
if it'll be number one or
I'll
number
write
two.
it down.
but- Yeah.
How do you spell
Put
it?
it on your list. Yeah.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
what happened was, Gwyneth Paltrow did a couple of really bad Instagrams. So one was her wearing a $425 or $500 skirt with a shirt from Goop, of course, her company, and the whole outfit was about $825. So number one, that's completely tone deaf. I mean, I know ladies buy, rose eggs to stuff up their vaginas because Ms. Goop tells them to do that.
Yep.
And they probably cost, hundreds of dollars.
A rose egg? It's
A
made
rose
out of
quartz.
Rose
I
quartz.
think it's rose quartz.
That's kind of heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to be pretty careful when you decide to lay it. Am I going to lay my rose quartz egg now? Or am I going to hold on to it and lay it later?
Do you keep it in there all day?
Well, I think you can do whatever. Once it's in your vagina, you're the one. You're the owner operator. You can keep it in there as long as you like.
business.
Yeah, it's your business. I've got the egg in, and when am I going to lay it? That's completely up to me. So anyway, and then she did the skirt and the top, and sort of did a photograph of herself in the mirror and put that on Instagram. Tone deaf. People have no money. And then she did one, buy a vibrator to get yourself through coronavirus. Both people thought those, or as we like to call it, varinus.
Varinus.
And then
Get a vibrator for your vagina for Varinus.
Vaginas want that for varinus. And then the other one that was really good was Giselle talking about,
Giselle Bundchen.
Yeah, because she and her husband, her Ken doll husband, are having this, fabulous life, and there's one of them
well,
on
I
there.
love that you're making fun of her
horses.
husband for being handsome. And what are they on? Horses?
Yeah, horses. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're riding.
All right.
No, the article actually called him a Ken doll, so I'm just paraphrasing. And then, so they're riding their horses and having a lovely time on their ranch in Montana or wherever they are. And then there was her saying, it's really good to meditate during the varinus. And she's sitting in a beautiful halter neck dress, meditating with a real waterfall in the background, and not just a pretend garden one, a real waterfall.
I think
in the background.
It would be hard to meditate. Forget about real waterfall. It'd be hard to meditate with a camera crew. They're filming you meditate.
Yeah.
I think that
no.
would be.
They just took a photo of her. Maybe
Yeah.
they buggered off, and then she really got to meditate. But Jeff Bezos actually gave $100 million to a food bank organization, because obviously so many people are going hungry, and that's the crazy thing. And then he did give $25 million to his workers to take care of them and make sure they were all right. So then I was like, oh, because all you hear is the horrible conditions they're working under. And I know they're getting fired if they want to, they have to go to part-time, so he doesn't have to give them health insurance. So yes, he's probably taking away with one hand and giving with another. But
you're really serious about this Jeff Bezos love-hate. You can't really decide. It's like it's important to you to decide how you feel about Jeff Bezos. It's weird.
Should we give him a score out 1 to 10 every day? Jeff, our marriage and Jeff Bezos.
Where's Jeff Bezos?
How much do I like or hate Jeff Bezos?
I feel like you're about an 8 or 9 on Jeff Bezos today.
Oh God, no, not that high.
Oh boy.
Oh no, are you kidding?
What are you, 7?
Oh no. I'd say he's at a 6 or a 5.
I think 5 is.
I think the level of philanthropy. You can't say you like a guy if you got
him at a 5.
Yes.
I got to turn this other light on.
Oh right,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, that.
Yeah, isn't that better?
Oh my God, I liked it how we had it before.
Show business is tricky.
There.
Yeah, no, show business is tricky.
Show business, yeah.
So,
It's okay.
Get back to Jeff Bezos. You got him at a 5. I feel like you can't like him and also have him at a 5.
No, okay, 5.5. He just needs to really up his philanthropy. He's the richest. He and Bill Gates are sort of neck and neck. It depends on how their stocks are doing that day. Who's the richest guy in the world? Do you know that they actually calculated at the end of every business day who's the richest guy in the world, or who the top richest people are?
Who does that? Well, someone does that.
Yeah,
but I don't
we
think
don't.
Jeff Bezos isn't looking at that every day. Am I the richest guy today?
No.
All right.
No, he and Bill
I'm
Gates.
A 9. I'm a 9 today.
Yeah, he and Bill Gates are probably pretty relaxed about that stuff. Bill Gates has got his philanthropy in a really unbelievable place. And then there's, Lady Gaga has given or raised $35 million. And some of her stuff, I think, is for food and then also for a vaccine. So Lady Gaga's really way up on my list of, cool people right now.
I had her judged wrong, but I'm ready to...
she's going to do a cool concert, and she's going to have Billie Eilish in it and Paul McCartney and...
Jen's saying that Gwyneth and Giselle really are the salt of the earth and that they understand us. And that's what I thought too. But
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's the level of understanding. And then, of course, there was the Madonna one in the bath where it doesn't even look like Madonna anymore. She's done so much crazy stuff to her face. So
you had to look that up, though. I told you about that, and then you looked it up.
No, she was enlisted in the 25 most terrible people with the coronavirus. And her thing is, this makes us all equal, which is a good thing and a bad thing, she said. And there's apparently harp music in the background, and then she's unrecognizable. But the other one that was really, really tone deaf was, and then I'll stop ragging on celebrities, was Justin Bieber, his wife Hailey, who apparently was an heiress in her own right, so super rich to begin with, and they're having a conversation with, is it Kendall,
Jenner?
Yeah, Kendall Jenner. Yeah. And they're all talking about how, how they've worked really hard to get to where they are, but they really feel for the people who worked really hard to get to where they are, who don't have anything right now and have lost their jobs, as they're sheltering the police.
You can't hate them for saying that. I mean, that's just being honest. I mean,
well, Justin Bieber has worked, but the two women were born into a lot of money. It's
hard work to be everybody, I think. I mean, don't you feel like...
I know that everybody is doing their best. So if that's the Biebs at his best, that's him at his best. And the ladies. If that's them at their best.
You've worked hard.
Yeah, I've worked hard. Yeah.
You've worked hard.
Yeah, to be somebody that you like.
Is that how you spend most of your day?
What can I do?
Man.
No, of course not. I think you already like me. I mean, you put a ring on it, so you must like it.
I did put a ring on it.
Yeah.
I married that.
Yeah, you did. You married this.
I mean, the whole thing, not just...
Yeah. Not just the thing I'm the owner-operator of.
Michael says he's waiting for me to start interrogating you with that light. But I'm not
trying
to
I know, it's very intrusive. I prefer how we did the spotlight thing over there, but today it did give you...
We'll work the light out later.
Yeah, don't worry about it now. It's just slightly...
Paul's saying, and evidently he's done a little bit of math, Bezos makes $200 million a day.
Yeah, no, it's really...
A day.
Yeah. So really with that, if you're making that amount of money...
Most of us would be lucky to make that in a lifetime.
Yeah, give everybody who's...
How many lifetimes is going to take most people to make $200 million? Oh my God.
Who can count?
Ridiculous.
But everybody who works for him should have health care. They should have a nice place to live. They should have all the Amazon Prime they want. They should be able to shop at Whole Foods every day. He should just treat them really well. He needs a Melinda Gates. Everyone thinks Melinda Gates is what got Bill into action, but I don't actually think that's true. I think Bill was...
Well, he's ditched his first wife, and now he's on to another girlfriend, potential wife. I mean, he is he is paying it forward. I mean, those ladies are getting rich. They worked hard, of course.
Well, the first wife, even though she got 35 billion, he was still the richest man in the world after she got 35 billion. So that shows how rich he is. Anyway, I do know a little bit too much about Jeff Bezos. So
Uma's asking, what is fame measured by in these Varinus days? I don't know. Fame in the time of Varinus. I mean, I feel like this is as famous as I can get in Varinus time. I mean, I've got a live show that's on 5 days a week.
Yeah,
I get it. John Oliver doing one show a week.
Yeah, John.
One show a week. Plus, he's got writers. Do I have writers?
Yeah, we're doing it all. Yeah.
I just have all this crap. And then
yeah.
my wife, she considers herself prepared if she's dry. I went in 5 minutes before the show and said 5 minutes. And she said, I'm totally prepared. I'm dressed. So
yeah, I put a dress on.
You're doing your part.
Yeah, well, I had been having this feeling. I was sort of a bit, down today, and I was thinking, God, I could just
we having a down day.
Put it on a moo and call it a life. Just that's it. Put my feet up and
moo Monday.
Yeah, moo. Well, maybe we'll wear moo on Monday, but I just was ready for I'm just gonna moo it into the rest of the week. I'm over this thing.
10th Thursday.
But, yeah.
So we were gonna. Speaking of. Tiny places to put your rose quartz egg. We were talking about Tiny House Thursday yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So we can talk about tiny houses. I love
houses.
tiny houses. I was really into tiny houses for a while because I thought we were going to. It's pretty obvious that you're just staring at the. I mean, I get that I do that, but okay.
I'm just doing some reading.
Yeah, no, I get it, and it is about us. So I was totally into tiny houses for a while because I thought the perfect living situation would be if you and I and Fanula each had a tiny house and we could circle them around a fire pit, and then
that would be the communal area, would be the fire pit, and then we'd all bugger off back to our own.
Or sometimes you would allow me to spend the night in your tiny house, or you might want to come and visit my tiny house, although this is kind of my tiny house and you've already said that you don't want to have sex in here. I mean, not that I've tried to. We have a very nice bedroom and that's where I prefer to do all of my sexing.
Yeah, Jake's not an outside in the kitchen. He's like, no, we have a place for that, and it's the bedroom.
Oh, well, that's so. You make it sound like you're suggesting the kitchen or outside all the time, and you're not. That's not a thing.
Yeah, not every day. No, not every day. I'm not everybody. So one of the things about a tiny house is I don't think you would have this much shit in a tiny house.
No, you have to pare your stuff down. That's the problem with a tiny house. That's why I keep trying to get you to
pare down.
Yeah, pare down. Well, at least let's go through your VHS tapes of your illustrious show business career and decide which ones we need to keep and which
Jake
ones
is
not.
ready to throw away some nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kevin's asking about my T-shirt. Yeah, it's a takeoff on a Ramones album cover, but instead of the names of the Ramones, it's the Shakespeare plays, and it was done by a friend of ours, your friend first, and then mine, Angus.
Angus, right?
But he's a big Shakespeare guy, and so it used to say the names of the Ramones. They took the presidential seal and put their names around it, and Angus put Shakespeare plays around it because he likes the Ramones and Shakespeare. Are you happy you asked? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I am.
Angus is going to make a Shakespearean globe out of shipping containers. In fact, he's building one right now in Detroit. So if you're interested in we'll punk rock Shakespeare, you can go to Detroit and see it.
We'll see how that goes in Varinus time. I mean...
Well, they'll wait till it's over. The one thing about shipping containers, very easy to disinfect and spray down, clean them up after the people have been in and out.
Is it?
Well, it's not like a theatre that's got all, curtains and velvet.
Well, but you don't
just
leave the metal sides of the shipping container. You're going to have to put insulation in there and flooring. It's not going to still be able to be hosed out afterwards, I don't think.
Well, I'm going to have a word to Angus about that.
Yeah, I think you should. I like that you don't really take my word for it, but there's very few theaters that you can hose out. I don't even think strip clubs have a hose out capability.
No, but with the shipping container, that could be something that you could build in, and it could be a selling point, post COVID-19.
Yeah.
So I'm, always thinking. I mean, I was going to put a moo on and just call it a life and put my feet up, but
we'll see how you do tomorrow. I feel here's how I am with Varinus time. I wake up in the morning kind of often feeling not so great that it's the beginning of a new day, but then after a couple hours, I feel like I'm kind of back in business and I'm really in charge of my life. And then after this show, I feel pretty good for about an hour, and then things start to wind down, and then by bedtime, I'm ready to throw in the towel. But I got this book about I've got a few books about tiny houses from when I was really researching tiny houses. Paul's got a tiny house, wind and solar power. Oh, it's a sailboat.
Sailboat, yeah.
Yeah, I thought about living in a sailboat before I bought this house. I had a friend who was on desperate times. He moved on to a sailboat, and I went over to visit him, and it was like, this looks pretty good. That became my backup if everything goes to crap. Life plan was just buy a sailboat, so we could still do that. I think it's too late for me to learn how to sail. I mean, I could learn, but we're not going to go very far. Keith and his wife traveled in a 200 square foot RV for 3 years. That's like you and me. I've transitioned from tiny house to van life.
You did. Yeah, we did used to. The tiny houses were when Fanula went to college. We were going to get 2 tiny houses and set them up right opposite her dorm. That wouldn't be embarrassing. We would just live there. We would pretend that we weren't her parents. There were just 2 weird people who decided to live right across from that dorm.
Yeah.
I mean, she wouldn't have let us, of course, but now, we're thinking, with a van, you can take your tiny house all over the world. And we've met people who put their vans on, ships and take them to other countries when they want to go to that other country. And,
we met someone
travel.
in Iceland who brought their ship over their van over on a ship from Germany, wasn't it? But,
it was cheaper than renting one in Iceland.
But I think that's still not. That's not cheap. That's a few $1,000s. That's kind of a luxury. So some of these ones that this guy builds, this is a book called by Derek Diedrichsen, and it's called Micro Shelters. I really like this one because he built all these crazy houses. He's kind of got he's got ADD or he's on meth or something because he builds these amazing. I'm just trying to look for one to turn around. It's more. Someone here. Look at this one.
Oh my God. There's a lot going on in the comments.
Are there?
Well, they want you to do a monologue, but they don't think you can do one with me in the room because I talk too much. But they'd like a 5-minute, you being funny. I mean, I could come in 5 minutes late if you like.
I'd like to be able to do an online comedy show where you can hear people from the audience who would like you guys, where I could hear you.
You could do a Zoom.
You could do a Zoom, but I think it could get distracting. All it takes is one douchey guy with a couple of drinks in him, just like in a comedy club, to just go, not funny, I'm a sheep.
Don't even give them that idea. I mean,
They can't heckle like that in here because.
No, I don't mean today. I don't mean what they're going to do our show. No, you just get the fart machine, and if anyone starts to heckle, you just fart them right off the heckle.
I forgot to turn
stage.
the fart machine on.
Oh, you did? God, the prep. Yeah, that was. Sorry, I interrupted. You were talking about the tiny houses.
Well, some of these are kind of nice. Like, look at this one. This is just a little reading kind of nook with a door that opens up. You can
She's
see
just
that.
got her books in there with her. That's like a garden library, is what I would call that.
Yeah, well,
baby.
sure, of course.
I mean, yeah.
Some of them are little tiny.
Some of them are so tiny. The Henrietta.
These aren't really a house.
You have to show them the pictures, though. I think you have to show me. That's
just a
pretty.
little place to take a nap. Just a little place out in the yard. When you're tired of being in the house, you went up to the other house today to I don't even know why. You could have just been in your room, but you didn't. You wanted to go.
I went up to the other house and I had a conversation with Tom on the telephone. It wasn't that I didn't want you to hear the conversation. I just wanted to be in my office. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you wanted to be in your office. I get it.
I've done a bit of moving around. I've been on the deck. I've been off the deck. I've been in the front house. I've been back to the deck. Then I was looking at
We're trying to use our space.
I looked at the boudoir, the bedouar, and I thought, I'd like to have a nap, except it's too hot. So I didn't do that.
Well, I think it does. I'm ruling out a show and tell with a book.
Look at that one, a really modern one.
See, that's kind of nice, isn't it?
God, you have to show them that one. Yeah.
Right?
I hope you can see. I hope you like the show and tell and that you can see them.
It's tricky to be able to see, but we're doing the best we can.
We are doing our best.
It's like reading a book to children. Now, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Is just read Dr. Seuss book. I'm sure we get into a copyright violation for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I highly recommend this book if you're thinking about micro shelter, tiny house thing. Again, it's by Derek Diedrichsen, and you can get it from Jeff Bezos. He's got it. That's where I got it.
Oh, right.
Books.
My pal Jeff.
He started out just being about books, and then it was everything.
Yes, he did.
I
Yes.
bet
He was a literary guy.
Yeah, he started. Amazon was just a bookstore.
I'm just being slightly sarcastic about my friend Jeff
don't
Bezos.
make fun of Jeff Bezos.
Look, I know, highly successful.
Visionary.
Yeah.
Visionary.
Yes, no, I know. Yep, absolutely.
Jen hasn't had any margaritas today.
She's
She's
been
saying she
super
would
polite.
not heckle. Okay, well, I'm trying to look into this. I've got a friend who's doing a comedy show thing, and so I'm trying to look into a way to be able to do that. But I think it would work best if it was a little like this. Like I have some things that I want to talk about, some material, but then also we can have a little interaction back and forth. Because online, it just doesn't feel like a comedy club. It feels a little more like when you're on a talk show. Here's a little inside journey into what it's like to be a comedian on a talk show, and I feel like I'm doing that monologue right now, although it's not funny. When you're on a talk show and you go sit down with Conan or Dave or Jay Leno or any of those other guys, when you're sitting beside them, they've worked out, not them, but one of their staff has talked to you earlier about what should the host ask you to lead you into a story or an anecdote that you're going to tell on the show. Those two things are the same, a story and an anecdote, but I just want you to know that I know that. And so, and a lot of times it's a bit, it's from your act. So you're just doing your act to the person conversationally, and then the audience is listening.
And making it look like it's completely,
Right. So that's not exactly what we're doing now, but the idea that you can have a real conversation with someone and then other people are watching, that seems to be more what the internet is working for than to me to stand here by myself and do a show into here with nobody laughing. I feel like I could start to feel panicky and floppy, sweaty, desperate fast, and I don't like that feeling. And I don't usually feel that in a comedy club because you can feel the audience.
And then imagine if
Mm.
I came out and I just stared in the door at you, and gave you a face like, what the are you doing, weirdo?
Mm.
That would be weird. But the internet's way more homegrown. And if you look at podcasts, those are really, they're very conversational and they go in lots of directions and you spend time doing it. And
Keith is saying traveling in an RV, a lot of time you don't know where you are when you wake up. But I have that now. I feel like that's an age-related thing that I'll wake up. Because I'm often on the road doing comedy, I'll wake up and not know exactly where I am. Or I'll be in another city, like Austin, Texas, but I'll be dreaming that I'm at home and then wake up and kind of be surprised.
To be there.
Or relieved.
Yeah.
Because
hopefully he's usually relieved to wake up and find out that he's at home.
I have so many dreams where you and I are having some kind of crazy argument and I'm super mad at you and I just really let you have it, and then I have this remorse feeling, and then I wake up and I'm in a hotel somewhere else like, oh, thank God I didn't say that to her.
Yeah, you were just angry because you weren't with me.
Yeah, that's right.
So do you...
That's right. It's so nice of you to let me take that rose egg with me when I go on the road.
Yeah, here, darling, lay it wherever you like. Lay it on the pillow right beside you. So when we went to Iceland a few years ago, Jake did a lot of research and he rented us a little camper van to travel in, and we got an Icelandic one. And when we got there, I was like, okay, to the place, they pick you up in the car at the airport, and then one person, and then it was really weird. It was sort of, we got taken to a gas station and told to get a snack, and then another guy picked us up in another BMW and drove us to the place because that guy was going back to the airport to get more people. And then they were telling you these crazy stories about the Chinese people who come to Iceland who have never driven an actual car. They've just driven simulators, but they are ready to drive on the road in Iceland.
Yeah, you can get a driver's license in China, evidently, according to this Icelandic guy who was... He had a touch of the old racism.
A touch. Fanuna's head was exploding because she, of course, as a young teen.
But according to this guy in Iceland, you can get a driver's license in China without ever having driven a car. You just drive in a simulator and they give you a license. They did have one terrible accident where there was a guy who was on a one-lane bridge, and we have these in New Zealand. It's a two-lane road, but then you come to a one-lane bridge, so one side waits while the other goes. And this guy just got on the bridge, even though there was a car already on it, and he was going at something like 140 kilometers an hour. It did not end prettily, obviously. But anyway, so we get to the camper van place, and there are some vehicles parked in the parking lot, but I'm like, well, none of these are our camper van. And then when I'm about to say, where's our camper van, after we've met the nice guy and we've had the chat, and then he points, I'll be finished in a tick. All right, I want to go.
Yeah, I know. Go. And then he points to this thing, and they open the door, and it's basically a cave that it's completely carpeted inside, and the windows are all blacked out because it's 24 hours sunlight a day, because you're so in such a high northern latitude in the summer. And it's a platform, and basically the three of us are going to be sleeping on this this one platform. And then I'll let you tell some other stories about the thing. But what was really funny was because it was so great because we were there for the worst summer in years. It rained all the time. There were poor families who'd come over from, other European countries who had 3 kids in tents every day. Everything was completely wet. We were in our blackout cave. But we slept like babies because you never knew what time of day or, when it was. I mean, don't you remember we slept really well?
Oh, it was really great. Well, here's the thing. Oftentimes, things on the internet seem different than they do in real life, as you'll find out when you come and see me at a comedy club and Belinda is not there because why she won't go to the gig. Maybe you will now. Maybe we'll go on the road together. I'll do my comedy show and then you'll come out and we'll have a little silly question and answer time. Or should that be first? I don't know. We'll check the comments.
Yeah, it could be the opening act with you and then you could be the main event.
Someone's also suggested that we could do the comedy show where I just give you a list of questions, you ask me, and I do my act, but you've already seen it. Anyway, so...
Oh, yeah, no, that would be... It's got to be spontaneous, don't you think? It's got to be a little
The whole point of what I just told you about...
I know, you're so good. You can make it look spontaneous.
It's not spontaneous.
I know, but you make it look spontaneous.
Everyone does. That's the way panel... Anyway.
Well, Drew Barrymore did when she jumped up on David Letterman's desk and lifted up her top.
That might have been spontaneous. The way they do it with comedians is a bit different than the way they don't trust comedians at all. Like, you have to be preloaded what you're going to do. But if you're Drew Barrymore at the height of your fame and you want to come on and just wing it, they go, okay. Anyway, so we get to Iceland. The guy on the internet, you don't talk to anyone. You just look at a picture of the van and they showed the picture, and so I thought we were renting a kind of a Sprinter size van that was going to have a bed area and a meal prep area and
yeah, there was no meal prep
and
area.
It was what we actually got was more like a plumber van, but it was insulated. But the back was just a bed, and then 2 feet behind the front seats where there was a fridge, and then under the bed was a cook stove and a table and folding chairs, and all 3 of us had to sit 3 across in the front of the plumber van and drive around Iceland. But it was a great vacation.
We had the most fantastic time. Vanilla was really into Hamilton, so we listened to Hamilton as we circumnavigated Iceland. We must have listened to it 500 times, but it was great. And then the really hilarious thing about the table and the stove and everything, we were expected to do everything al fresco. And as I told you just a few seconds ago, it was the worst summer in Icelandic, for years. It was so bad that a lot of the camping grounds, and they said we were really lucky because of the Icelandic people were all on holiday. They stay up as late as they want. Their dogs and their kids scream around the camping sites all night long. They weren't on holiday because the weather was bad. But we had to do everything al fresco. So the first night, it's raining and freezing. We've been to one of the fabulous hot tubs, but we've sort of started to really cool down. I'm cooking the pasta in the rain. And then we all sat, 3 of us in a row in the cab of the camper van eating
the first night of the vacation. Well, it wasn't the first night because the first night we stayed in a like a hotel bed and breakfast place.
I'm going to tell you a story about the first night. I don't think I've told you before.
The second night of the camp out was regret and wondering if we'd made a giant mistake on the second night of a 2-week holiday. So tell me another story about the first night, but then I've got to ask some questions about some things that I'm reading in there.
Okay, well, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
So then what was funny about that first night, the second night when we cooked the spaghetti and we all had to, I think Fanula just went and sat in the camper because she couldn't stay out. I mean, we took all our ski gear with us and we wore it every day, and I was so happy because I've got my ski parka and my ski pants, and it's great because there's tons of waterfalls and they spray water all over you, so the more prepared you are for how wet it's going to be. I mean, anyone who saw it, in shorts and flip-flops, you felt bad for them because it was not that kind of conditions. But that night we sort of drove into the middle of a paddock where they said we could sleep, and there was absolutely no one around us.
That's a field.
Oh yeah, field.
I think that maybe people in America now know what a paddock is.
A paddock is,
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, you're welcome. So then the first night when we were at the hotel.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, he thinks it's rude if I say that.
That we slept in a hotel?
No, that I said
ahead.
You're welcome. So the first night when we're in the hotel, you're sleeping in your bed and Fanula's over in her bed, and we've had our $50, each dinner. And it's expensive to eat in restaurants in Iceland. But the whole night I'm thinking, oh my God, oh my God, we have to drive back to Reykjavik first thing in the morning and tell them we cannot circumnavigate Iceland in this fucking, little tin can. We need something bigger than this. But you had that the second night. You didn't think that the first night in the hotel, but the whole first night in the hotel. And then that funny thing happens. You have the sleepless night worrying that you're going to have this terrible vacation or that you're in this tiny, ridiculous, can-sized camper van. And then the next morning I woke up, I had breakfast. I was like, and off we went.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I did.
Kai's is a celebrity on Conan. I didn't know that. I don't know who. I know who. Well, obviously I know Kai's is from the comments, but do I have regrets about any of them? No, I was happy. Or are I happy where I am? I would love to be doing Conan right now, but he's not doing anything right now. That would be fun.
You could do one of those weird split screen interviews that you can do on a talk show. I saw. Yeah.
Rhonda loves that you never get to the point.
That I never do?
Yeah. Jen's weighing in. Rhonda, maybe take it easy. Thanks, Jen. Sorry, yeah. I'm a little behind on the
They want to know if my middle name is Tangent. I don't go on tangents, but I always bring it in for a landing. I mean, I got back. I told you the story about the first night about the van, the thing I'd never told Jake. Yeah. Are you paying attention?
Yeah, no. There's a lot of.
They're very busy today.
I think we're going to really be able to get to the bottom of some of our issues when we go through these comments together, because people are kind of taking sides and helping out.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Now there's. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. You're heckling a little bit.
Oh, me?
Do we bounce off the live stream? Yeah. That's the thing. When I've looked into the comedy shows on, like online comedy shows, they have to have a bouncer to make sure that people aren't interrupting. They have a door person and a bouncer. And all that kind of
because we heard about those Zoom meetings where nasty people were getting in and showing porn, and where they actually hacked into a Zoom meeting.
Zoom bombing.
Yeah,
but
Zoom.
Now,
yeah.
I want to turn this.
I don't think the fart machine will work. For
I just got a email from Zoom saying that they were going to require passwords on all their meetings, so that they're trying to cut down on the Zoom bombing. But I'm looking into figuring out how to do a comedy show online, or some kind of version of this that's a little bit more me, if you don't mind.
Look, I can, anytime you want me to,
No, believe me, I couldn't go. I don't think I could get through a day. I'm so happy that we have each other and we have these people. God, you guys, you really. Okay, so today.
So I just want to say one thing about the Zoom bomb.
Okay, we're almost
because
done.
Fanula was in her class the other day, and a kid who was not in her school bombed into one of the classes, and the other kids knew that this kid who was in there was not part of their school, and they were able to tell the teacher, who apparently doesn't know their name, though she's been their teacher since January, and it's a wellness class. So it's
and there's only 20 people in the class too. I mean, it's not like there's 150 people in there. I didn't know it was a giant lecture.
So anyway,
and it's the class that's about wellness, which is like health class or how to connect to people class, and the teacher doesn't know that there's a kid in there who's not one of the kids, and he's just kind of lurking in there. He didn't heckle or anything.
But they did get the teacher to get him, they said, look, hey, he's not in our class. And she actually knew enough about the host button to be able to get him off, because when you're the host, and then we heard the hilarious story the other day about the meeting that was with people who were in the entertainment industry, but they were only, you could only see them
they crop themselves out.
Like there was that much of them in the shot.
You're on the Zoom call and the person's just kind of chopped off on the edge of it.
And they're from the DGA.
And they just keep talking like, hey, are you only looking at everyone else? You're not looking at yourself? Be a little bit more. Everyone in show business is supposed to be self-aware. That's why I got to keep doctoring with the camera all the time.
Yeah, that's the light problem is, But then... you have to have a co-host so that you're not the only one who's policing the meeting.
Okay.
Or making it work.
More on the monitors. I'm going to try and work on some more on the monitors. I'm going to try and do a little bit more on the lighting for tomorrow.
I thought the lighting... Don't you guys think that the lighting option number 2, and we had a light over there... They're busy enough, actually. They're red carding each other and yellow carding. We depend on them for content. Yeah,
Rhonda, a red card is what they show you in soccer, and you're out of the game. First they show you the yellow card, then when you get the red card, you're out. Maybe you already knew that. But a heckler is someone who's disrupting the show. But you can't really heckle from the comments on here. That's one of the things that's great about this. You can't get heckled out.
They're doing it to each other, and they're not red carding me. I think they're red carding.
They're red carding each other, not red card. There was a bit of a foul called on you, but Jen is,
I do too many tangents. That you want Jake to do more of a monologue.
Jen is really saying Varinus is making the chat contain contentious. And I think you're right, Jen. Let's take it down a notch in the chat. Let's all try and be nice to each other, and maybe kind of, if we're receiving constructive feedback, maybe we should take it.
Me. He means me. Yeah.
No, that was a little bit of a joke.
I'm not going to lay my egg on this show.
I love. Please don't.
Yeah, he would get so
at the
distracted.
End of the show,
these guys wouldn't be able to see it because the camera,
That's how we know the show's over, when the quartz egg falls out from inside of you. Like, oh, well, there's the egg. You guys have been great, and you have been great.
Yes, it's been so fun to hang out with you today.
We've got to sign off for today. We'll be back tomorrow. It's a big Friday tomorrow. Are
we going to do an F animal?
I was thinking about pangolin, and in honor of my Filipino friends, Pangolin Pride. So they always say P for F, so Pangolin Pride. Do you get it? Racist or not racist? We got to dial 1-800. Is that racist? Probably it's racist, but I don't think so.
Yeah, but let's dial 1-800. Is that racist? Because they'll really help us out. That's a service that you started, didn't you?
Yeah. That's one of my business ideas. One of my business ideas is 1-800. Is that racist? And the other business idea is a customer service line where they can't help you, but you're allowed to curse at them.
That would be super helpful.
You just curse at them, and then they apologize to you constantly.
Right.
Which is what I really want.
So if I'm really, if I don't think Jeff Bezos is doing enough for his workers, I just call up that line and
call
go.
Mike. Yeah, they can't help you.
No, but I can really have a rant and a rave.
All right. Stay strong. Take care of each other. Try and be nice in the comments.
They're having fun.
They're having fun. We'll see you tomorrow. You can't hurt each other. We're not allowed to touch each other. We don't even know where each other are. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll be here, same time, same channel.
Don't give up. And don't eat a bat.
Yeah, don't eat a bat. And what else shouldn't they eat? Was there anything?
Well, that's just it for tomorrow. Whatever you want, just not a bat. Okay?
Yeah, don't eat a bat. Don't eat a squirrel. And definitely don't eat pangolins.
You really got a whole list of things then. Once it was don't eat, you were like, oh, I got to go.